Hey guys, how you doing today? Just getting off work, on my way home, thought I'd record something. Got into a bit of a conversation with somebody today about like the nature of this video and the nature of what I'm doing, and their kind of thing was like, are people going to be okay with somebody just kind of riffing into their camera while they walk home, right? Like, I don't know. It's got kind of a, what the hell. I like doing it. I'm going to keep doing it. What's banging around in my head today? I mean, here in Ontario, right, the teachers' strike is ongoing, as it should be, right? The teachers have not only every reason to strike, but every right to strike, and I implore them to continue striking. I hope they strike every day until the Ford administration is ejected from office. I hope that the strikes grow and become a larger, more virulent force. I think that the people who are striking are doing good work, and they need to continue doing that work, because the reality is that the people who have seized power in this province do not care about us. They don't care about anybody except themselves, and they're willing to lie and be deceitful about it. Like, how can you possibly see that this administration is working for the interests of anybody but themselves when they're actively doing things that are being reported on as incompetence, but are obviously just malicious and are obviously just intended to spread harm? Yeah, this is what I want to talk about today, man. More than anything, right? Like, we know, there have been studies on this, we understand that the more detached you get from the society around you, i.e. the more wealth you get, the less empathy you have for those around you. We know that's true. You essentially become a sociopath if you have $100 million and everyone around you has $10,000. Then you don't have their problems. You can't empathize with their problems. It's something that you're not capable of doing. And so when they come and they say, like, this is my experience, this is what I'm experiencing, you can just shrug and say, like, tough, sucks to be you, I guess. Which is exactly what's being said to us now. Just the billionaire class is just shrugging and saying, oh, well, sucks to be you, I guess, and moving on. With no sense that we live in a society, with no sense that the reason why they have the wealth they have is because the society was structured that way to allow them to have it. And if they need to continue, if they need to abandon us in order to maintain the structure of that, which is the way the society is designed. The society is designed so that people at the bottom of it are systematically abandoned. That's how capitalism works. It systematically abandons people and exploits them in order to funnel their exploited labor up to these detached billionaires who literally are just gambling with the labor in the hopes that they'll make more money for themselves. And they don't care how they make more money. They don't care about any of that. Why do you think right now we're in the middle of a stock market crash that is as bad or worse as the 2008 recession, which itself was widely reported on as being almost as bad as the crash of the Great Depression? And here's this stock market crash that's occurring and being reported on as, oh, well, this is a coronavirus. It's causing all these problems. Oh, the stock market crash. All kinds of stuff. Has anybody noticed a problem? Has anybody? Can I see a news report? Has there been a single worker that has lost their job? Has there been a single individual that has been thrown out of their house? Has there been anybody who has been affected by the stock market crash the way that they were affected? Millions of people were thrown out of their home in 2008. 2008, millions of people lost their home, right? It was a disaster for millions of people. And yet here's another crash. The numbers went down, the lines went down. Where's the impact? Where's the effect? Oh, turns out that a bunch of billionaires gambling with hoarded wealth that no one will ever see, they will not invest it in anything. It turns out that billionaires gambling in a casino, when that casino goes tits up and the whole thing collapses, it doesn't matter, right? Your life didn't get worse because they chose that your life wasn't going to get any better in the first place, right? They made the decision very early on in this process that, well, we'll just take that money and we'll hoard it and we'll jam it in a hole. We'll make sure that we don't need to pay any taxes on it. We'll make sure, like here in Canada, corporations are hoarding $650 billion. Probably more than that now, because that's an old figure, right? And you're just getting article after article of people being like, why aren't billionaires investing their money? What? Billionaires should be investing their money. You know what we should be doing? We should be insisting that those billionaires invest their money. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that based on one very simple principle. First of all, they're sociopaths. Like, scientifically, that's just a fact. Once you attain a certain amount of wealth, you're just incapable of empathy. You just become a sociopath. But the principle that guides them is very simply, well, why, if the purpose of investing is to get money, then why would I invest if I already have all the money? Right? If the purpose of investing is to get more money, why would anyone invest if they already have all the money? And this here is the great flaw, one of, but the biggest one, the great flaw of capitalism. The great flaw of capitalism is that eventually a single individual collects all of the wealth and the game blows up. The game ends, right? When you play a game of Monopoly, well, what happens when that one person, first of all, what happens? Nobody talks about what happens to the people who are ejected from the game. What do you think happens to those people? Right? Where do you think they go? What do you think? Nobody cares, right? Because if you're playing a game of Monopoly, you have to be this ruthless sociopath, basically. And you're not allowed to think of, oh, well, let's have empathy for the people around us. That's not how the game works. You eject them, they go die in a gutter. Because they have no wealth anymore, and then the wealth gets collected by a smaller and smaller group until eventually, by design, one person takes over the market. And once that happens, the game ends because there's nobody who can buy what they're selling, right? We're seeing that here in Toronto with our housing market, right? Billionaires, and I hate the term millionaires because there's like a difference between somebody who has $1 million or $2 million and somebody who has $900 million, right? Like, but anyway, these billionaires and these millionaires are buying up property like mad. It's not being reported for obvious reasons. The billionaire class buys up the real estate, and what do? They jack up the price. Why? Because people need places to live, right? And they don't care. They don't care who, right? And moreover, they can afford to just sit on it because the property taxes are so goddamn low. And in some places, there are some places here in Toronto that if you have an empty property, you don't pay taxes on it. Like, that's how goddamn stupid we're talking about here. We're talking about some billionaire who's bribed a bunch of politicians to let them sit on empty properties for as long as they want. And this is why I'm just, dude, we got to start overthrowing this stuff. We got to start getting rid of these sociopaths. We got to start building a society that's based around the what's good for people and what's working for people, for just everybody. You know what's not working for everybody? Having these goddamn billionaires around doing nothing, siphoning away money into offshore accounts, sitting on our property, raising our rent, lowering our wages, causing us enormous problems. And it just seems like we can't do dick all about it. It just seems like we can't just rally around and create any kind of movement whatsoever. I see a lot of internet memes. I see a lot of grumbling online. Oh, good. Who gives a shit? Who gives a crap if you're sitting on the couch griping away, right? Oh man, what's been really getting me, man? Like this last climate rally, I really came to this moment. There was a climate rally here in Toronto. The one where Justin Trudeau got his got his photo shoot, his photo op. And he was like, yeah, climate change, rah, rah, rah. And the rest of us looked at him and were like, aren't you the boss? Aren't you the guy leading this thing, right? You don't give a shit about this issue. You just pretend like you do. And that's Justin Trudeau to a T. He doesn't give a shit about climate change. He doesn't care at all. He cares that you think he cares. And that's the best you're going to get out of Justin Trudeau. Fraud. But the climate rally happened. And I was just thinking the whole time while I was standing there were thousands of people in the street, dude. It was thousands and thousands and thousands of people. It was a big deal. It was a big thing, right? And lots of people showed up and showed their support and had their voice heard and then went home and nothing happened. I'm to the point now where I'm saying, no, stay. You stay put. You came out here, you did your thing, you stay, right? We've got unemployed people. We got all kinds of crazy stuff going on. You stay, right? And we need to dig our heels in. We need to grind down, buckle in, and simply say, this has to stop. It has to stop. It has to stop. It is as simple as this, right? The kids that are graduating from university, man, I don't understand why anyone is tolerating this. If I'm a university kid and I'm chilling in my classrooms or whatever, wasting my time listening to like professors talk about math and art or some nonsense intermediary basket weaving 202, right? So that they can fill in an elective in the largest con cash grab in modern history. The education system's such a hack. Yeah, that's a whole other thing. I don't understand why these kids are not going out. Like, you want to talk about blockades? I feel like these kids should be ripping up the railways. I think we should be tearing this whole thing apart. I think that we should be, these kids here in Toronto, you know what they should be doing? They should be going to the 401. 401 is the #1 highway in North America. It's the #1 most traversed highway in North America. More people travel the 401 daily than any other place in North America. That's where these kids should be. High school kids, university kids, the workers, the unions. We should go to the 401, the intersection of the 401 and the 410, and we should sit there. We should force them to drag us off, because this system is A, collapsing, B, going to burn down, by itself. And then C, being run by overt and open fascists. Like, people like Justin Trudeau are not going to stop it from happening. He's not even going to try. What he's doing now is just taking cue cards from the oil company and reading it. Meanwhile, we're supposed to take seriously that people like Mike Bloomberg are interested in helping anybody but themselves. Mike Bloomberg just blew $500 million on a vanity project. We should start measuring things in that. We should start measuring things in Michael Bloomberg presidential election campaigns. Somebody stands up and says, well, how are you going to pay for that? Well, let's say we've got a project in mind, replace all the water pipes or something like this. It'll cost us $1 billion. Somebody stands up and goes, well, how are we going to pay for that? We'll just be like, what are you talking about? That's only 2 Michael Bloomberg vanity projects. But if some oligarch billionaire can burn $500 million on a clear failure vanity project, obviously we can replace some pipes. Like, obviously. Like, this is how dumb things have gotten, and things have gotten dumb. Like, people are coming at me now, and this is just it. It's just gotten to the point where it's just abject, willful stupidity. People are willfully, they want to be stupid. People celebrate their stupidity. They're happy that they're stupid. And they're happy when their stupidity frustrates you. Because they'd rather be stupid and wrong than have to change their view. Right? At least if they're stupid, at least they're certain in their stupidity. If they have to change their view, well, that's very unsettling for someone so stupid. Oh, man. Yeah. As we get into this kind of final phase of humanity, there's going to be a lot of anger. There's going to be a lot of rage. And I'm doing everything I can to get it off my chest, to get it out into the open. Because eventually the forests burn down, right? Like we saw it happen in Australia, we're going to see it happen here. Eventually the water stops to become drinkable. And eventually the air is just not breathable, right? It's going to get rough. And it's going to happen a lot faster than we think. And I saw exactly the same thing happen. Like in my life, I called Donald Trump. I knew someone like Donald Trump was showing up. Back in W. Bush's era, right? Obama got elected, and everybody was like, woo ha ha, Obama got elected. Hope and change, hope and change. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. And the second that we all realized that, oh, he's just a Wall Street shill. He just works for these corporations. He built the cages that Trump put the kids in. Like, the Democratic Party is just as fascist as the Republican Party, right? They're both bought. They're both part of the same institutions, of the same problems. And the thing is that when Trump was finally elected, people stopped treating me like I was a kook. I was saying it the whole time. Oh, hey, there's a problem. Oh, hey, there's a problem. Oh, hey, there's a problem. People were like, oh, John, yeah, okay. Whatever you say, John, yeah, okay, okay. Donald Trump gets elected. No one's saying, oh, John to me anymore. Right? No one's saying that to me anymore. And I suspect that the same thing will happen here with climate change. Oh, John, everything's in hand. Everything's fine. Oh, John, don't worry about it. Oh, John, have patience. Oh, John. Oh, John. And then the wildfires will start. It's not going to be oh John then. Anyway. I need to go to sleep. I hope you guys are having a good time out there.